Recently, we have been receiving a lot of news on the Mario movie. From trailers to full movie clips to the Super Show intro. This movie is shaping up to be amazing. So in light of my and probably a lot of your guys' excitement, I wanted to make a video outlining some hopes I have for the movie. This film has been one I've been waiting for years, and I want it to be the best it can be. So without further ado, here are 15 hopes for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So far, throughout the many teasers and trailers we've had for the movie, we've not seen even a glimpse of Bowser Jr. or the Koopalings, despite them being some of the most iconic boss enemies in the series. It's very likely the reason we haven't seen them is because they're not in the movie and they're being saved for a possible sequel, but it would be so cool if they even just had a short cameo somewhere throughout the film. Maybe along Mario, Peach, and Toad's journey they come across an area taken over by the Koopalings, and have to defeat them in order to move on. And after defeating them, Bowser Jr. would show up angry and a battle would ensue. After being defeated, Bowser Jr. would rush back to Bowser and report to him what happened, and Bowser would get even more angry, further fueling his hatred for Mario and friends. I could be way off course here, but this would be something I'd love. Imagine getting to hear the Koopalings talk for the first time since the Mario cartoons from the 90s. It would be really cool. When Nintendo revealed a full clip of the film at the Game Awards, I was not only impressed by its stunning visuals, but also just blown away by the amazing music. I mean, in just a minute and a half clip, they were able to include like 7 unique tracks from various Mario games, and they all work so well. With this movie, I'm really hoping to hear more of that. Imagine getting to hear renditions of Dire Dire Docks or 3D World's Bowser's theme and have them fit perfectly with what's happening on screen. Along with that, I would love to have the movie's soundtrack be released, as this would allow us to not only listen to these tracks outside of the movie, but also get to hear the full version of them. Music has always been a strong suit of the Mario series, so I'm very hopeful this film will be able to capture the spirit of the games in this aspect as well. Okay, so I started working on this video literally hours before this was confirmed by a new TV ad for the movie. But initially, I said I wanted to see Mario and friends explore classic and popular game locations, like one of Mario 64's levels or one of Odyssey's kingdoms. But it seems this hope is not a hope anymore, as in a new ad for the film, what appears to be both Bob-omb Battlefield from Mario 64 and Toast Arena from Super Mario Odyssey are featured as locations we'll see in the movie. So I guess all I can say now is I hope we see more of this. Obviously, the coolest one to see in my opinion would be Delfino Plaza. And while I doubt Mario will travel there, it would be incredibly cool to see a commercial for it on display in one of the many locations featured in the film. But now that Mario 64 and Odyssey locations are confirmed, I'm really excited to see how these will be handled. Will we see King Bob-omb, Koopa the Quick, the Broodals? Who knows? This kind of branches off of the last hope, but I would love to see an appearance or at least reference to one of Mario's many companions he's had throughout the games. This could be as small as seeing someone like Koops from Thousand Year Door in the background of a town Mario's exploring, or as big as having Mario meet and partner up with a character like Cappy during his time in Toast Arena. We already know this movie isn't afraid of bringing back obscure Mario characters, as characters like Foreman Spike and Cranky Kong have been confirmed since the cast was revealed. So it's not really too far-fetched that we could possibly see the appearance of a popular or obscure Mario companion. Considering the fact we've already seen Peach in her Fire Flower form and Mario in a cat suit, the inclusion of power-ups in this movie is obviously confirmed. So with that in mind, I really hope we see a lot more of them throughout this film's runtime. The appearance of the cat suit was a huge surprise to me. And I mean, if they can put that in the movie, there are so many others they can get away with. You got power-ups like the Tanuki Leaf, Hammer Suit, Ice Flower, Cape Feather, Frog Suit, Propeller Mushroom, and so many others that would be so incredible to see on the big screen. And since Bob-omb Battlefield is confirmed, we could even see the Wing Cat make an appearance. The possibilities are endless. And while I obviously don't think we'll see every power-up I mentioned, I would love to see at least a few of them. It would be awesome if Mario and friends used one of the power-ups mentioned during a fight with Bowser or one of the many enemies they'll come across. This one is pretty self-explanatory, but it's something I hope happens sometime throughout the film. We don't ever see Keegan-Michael Key's Toad character referred to as Captain Toad, despite him wearing a very similar bag to the one Captain Toad wears. This leads me to believe that throughout the movie, this Toad will possibly come to love adventure, and near the end of the film will start referring to himself as Captain Toad, and maybe even put on the iconic headlamp he loves to shine in Mario's face. This would serve as a really cool movie origin story for Captain Toad, and if people like him enough, could lead to him having a bigger role in future films and games. Captain Toad is a character I have always loved, so I'm really hoping this film will introduce more people to this awesome little guy. We already know Funky Kong is at least in the film, with him being spotted in the background of a shot from one of the trailers. So all that's left now is for the movie to show us more of him. Funky Kong is an absolutely iconic character, being almost everyone's go-to pick in Mario Kart Wii. So I, and probably a lot of people, would love to see him have a bigger role in the movie than just being a background Kong. Maybe he could give Mario directions to somewhere if Mario befriends the Kongs. There is a lot of potential for Funky Kong to have a cool role in the movie, even if he does just show up for 1 or 2 scenes. Most of all, I just really hope we hear him talk. Like, who would they cast for the one and only Funky Kong? On the topic of the Kongs, I really hope we see some classic Mario scenes recreated in this film. Think of things like the first level of the Donkey Kong arcade game recreated, or Mario sliding down a flagpole. And this could even go a bit deeper. Everyone knows about the infamous infinite live Koopa shells that are present in a lot of Mario games. Maybe we could see Mario doing something similar to this in the movie as sort of a little nod to that. We've already seen that Peach trains Mario through this training area very reminiscent of 2D Mario stages, and that the place where Mario and Donkey Kong battle is atop a girder very similar to that of the girders in the Donkey Kong arcade game. So I don't think this hope is really too far-fetched. The Mario sports titles are a huge part of the Mario series. Games like Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, and Mario Strikers are very well known among Mario fans. And since we've already seen Mario Kart play a role in the film, I think it would be really cool if some of the sports titles were acknowledged as well. This could literally just be as simple as a line referencing them, or as insane as a whole scene of Mario and friends playing golf if they could somehow make that work. This hope isn't one I wouldn't be all too mad about if it didn't happen, but certainly one I would really appreciate. Since we know Luigi is going to be separated from Mario for a majority of the movie, I would love to see a side plot have some Luigi's Mansion elements to it. From what we've seen, it seems like he lands in Bowser's kingdom, gets abducted and questioned by Bowser, and eventually escapes. The place he escapes to, though, kind of looks to be an abandoned castle. Maybe he could explore this place and run into ghosts, possibly even finding an early model of the Poltergust which he can use to suck up the ghosts and escape. A cool thing to note about Luigi's role in the movie is that a toy line for the Mario movie coming out around its release features a depiction of Luigi holding a giant flashlight, further alluding that he might have a Luigi's Mansion inspired plot. Sonic and Mario have always been rivals. Ever since their little marketing war in the 90s, there's always been some tension between the two franchises. And now that the two are competing again, this time in the movie industry, I would love to see subtle little jabs at the franchise throughout the film. We already saw a bit of it in the recent Mario Bros. Plumbing ad, with a location being called Red Hill, obviously making fun of Green Hill, so it's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities for this to happen. These little jabs would obviously be very lighthearted, as Nintendo and Sega don't hate each other anymore. With Peach saying this in one of the trailers,
"There's a huge universe out there with a lot of galaxies,"
and a Luma being one of the many McDonald's toys promoting the movie, I really hope we get to at least see a mention of Rosalina. It is such an odd choice for them to have a Luma be one of the main toys for the movie despite us not knowing of their inclusion yet. But I mean, if the Lumas are in the movie as the toy suggests, it would be really cool to see Rosalina as well. She is absolutely one of the most popular characters in the Mario series, and it would be really cool to see her have a cameo in the movie. Recently, Illumination released a commercial for Super Mario Bros. Plumbing, Mario and Luigi's plumbing business they had before they presumably got sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom. This ad featured the very unexpected return of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show theme, a show from the late 80s that Nintendo has never referenced. So with a reference as obscure as that, the possibility for so many others is very possible. I think it would be hilarious if we got a reference to Hotel Mario or the original Mario movie from the 90s. There is a lot of obscure Mario media that Nintendo seems to have just forgotten about, so it would be amazing to see some of it mentioned in the film. So with that new commercial for the Mario movie that literally came out as I was making this video, Bob-omb Battlefield is of course confirmed to be in the movie. Now, as you probably know, in order to reach Bob-omb Battlefield, Mario has to jump into a painting. I would love to see this in the movie. We've seen a little bit of what it looks like to jump and travel through a painting in Odyssey, but I hope this movie will have a much different take on it. Along with that, I think it would be really cool to have paintings be a form of transportation in the movie. We've seen both clear and regular pipes used throughout the Mushroom Kingdom, so paintings would obviously be the next step. With the rise of Marvel movies, literally almost every film nowadays has a post-credit scene that usually teases a sequel. I hope the Mario movie is no different. There are so many possibilities for sequels. I mean, we could have something like a Super Mario Galaxy inspired sequel or a Super Mario Odyssey inspired sequel. And along with teasing a sequel, I would love to see this possible post-credit scene tease a new character as well. Maybe instead of the Koopalings showing up like I hoped for earlier, they could be in a post-credit scene helping Bowser recover after a fight. But who knows, maybe this post-credit scene could even show Waluigi. And those are my 15 hopes for the Mario movie. I obviously don't expect every single one to be in the film, as the movie is literally confirmed to be only an hour and 30 minutes, but I would love to see at least a few of them make it in. And while I know it seems like an odd choice to make a video about hopes for a movie, but from what we've seen so far, it seemed very appropriate considering just how much love and care is being put into the project. Seriously, as we get closer to the film's release, it feels like every day we're hearing about some cool new detail about it. But what about you? What are your hopes for the movie? Leave a comment, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And with that, thank you so much for watching till the very end. The support recently has been nothing short of insane, and I could not be more grateful for it. As always though, have an amazing day.